MMA is a crazy sport in a good way. One of the many reasons that make this sport exciting and interesting to watch is its unpredictability and unforeseeable scenarios, especially when it comes to matchmaking. While in sports like soccer or basketball, all the matches are predetermined when and where they're going to happen, MMA doesn't work like that. Big news, rumors, and unexpected fight announcements can happen at any moment out of nowhere, like thunder from the clear sky. We're living at a time when it's good to be a fight fan. So here are the newest news and rumors in the UFC realm. Khabib versus Ferguson confrontation closer than ever? Yes, I know what you think. That's what they always say, and still, this fight always finds a way to fall apart. This fight was scheduled over and over again, and it was canceled not once or twice, but 5 times. It made even those fans who are not superstitious at all start believing in curses and labeled this fight as the most cursed fight in UFC history. But what if I told you that the face-off between these two lightweight royals is closer than ever? It's not a secret that Tony Ferguson has been calling out Khabib for quite some time now, but without any real reaction from the retired champ. However, in a tweet that was posted on May 17, 2022, it seems that the Eagle is finally hooked up and interested to confront Ferguson. The thing is, Khabib is retired, and on more than a few occasions he confirmed that he is not interested in fighting anymore, right? Well, this confrontation might not be as we initially expected, but rather as coaches for the next season of Tough, the Ultimate Fighter show. On his tweet, Khabib confirmed that he is interested in the idea and ready to negotiate, and if UFC fails to book them in the organization, he's more than willing to organize something regarding Ferguson in his own Eagle FC organization. Not only that, but even the UFC boss Dana White is really fond of this idea, and this is what he had to say. "I'm in. You sold me." Also, adding that seeing them as coaches on Tough could possibly lead to a real fight in the octagon, he said, "Hopefully they'll get pissed off enough with each other that they actually want to fight and I can make them fight," continued Dana. After hearing that, we can surely imagine Dana somewhere in the corner doing the Al Pacino quote in The Godfather, "Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in." Gossip and curiosities. Fans like to watch some fighters because they love them, whether that source of love is due to their fighting skills, style, or personality. There's nothing more exciting than watching your favorite fighter competing in the octagon. On the other hand, there are fighters who fans love to hate, and Colby Covington is probably one of the first fighters that come to our minds regarding that. In recent research from bookmakers.com, Conor McGregor has been named as the most hated UFC fighter and at the same time the third most loved fighter by the same research. This indicates only one thing. Some people love to watch McGregor because they love him, and some people love to watch him because they hate him. But for whatever reason, people simply love to watch the notorious, and that's what makes him the superstar he is. According to that list, Israel Adesanya is the most loved fighter in the UFC, who is also one of the biggest superstars in the sport. Whether loved or hated, any fighter would be fine as long as fans have either of those feelings toward them, because the first moment fans stop caring about a fighter, he would slowly and quietly consider moving to Bellator or a different MMA organization. Speaking of superstars, there are a few fighters that always come to our mind. Fighters like Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, or Jorge Masvidal. Fighting any of these fighters can change someone's life forever, making them rich, or as Conor likes to say, that would be a red panty night. Since they are all gold mines for any MMA fighter, Khamzat Chimaev is not an exception when it comes to chasing money fights, putting their names in his hit list. Just like in nature, when an old lion is too old to fight, a new lion would come and take his place and everything that he possesses, the same way a young prospect like Khamzat Chimaev can enter the octagon with some superstar like Nate Diaz or Jorge Masvidal and build up his name by beating them. Khamzat is a superstar in the making, and fighting any of these 3 fighters in the future would do huge pay-per-view numbers, because let's be honest, it would be a fight that any MMA fan would love to see. What are Francis Ngannou's retirement plans, and the chance to see him fight Jon Jones? Francis Ngannou is one of the scariest, most intimidating fighters in UFC history. He didn't ask to have such a reputation, but he earned it by knocking fighters out cold and sending them to the Shadow Realm. Nevertheless, on more than a few occasions, he expressed his dissatisfaction when it comes to fighters' pay, and with that, there was uncertainty regarding his future in the UFC. After beating Cyril Gane and defending his title, his attention was switched to boxing and even a possible matchup against the undisputed boxing king, Tyson Fury. We as MMA fans were not too happy, knowing that one of the most exciting fighters to watch may leave the sport and show his skills in the boxing ring. However, according to his latest tweet, there is no space to worry because he is not intending to leave the octagon anytime soon. "I am just getting started, bro. I have at least 5 more years to conquer everything," wrote Ngannou in the tweet, indicating that all the rumors about his retirement are falling apart. But that leads to the question, will we see a clash between him and Jon Jones? In a recent podcast, Joe Rogan commented on Jon Jones' physique and his tiny calves after Jones announced that he will move to heavyweight to conquer the division. Joe Rogan commented on how perfect Jones' physique is and how he is using that to beat his opponents. But will that be enough against someone like Francis Ngannou? There is only one way to find out, but in a crazy sport like MMA, we can receive some big news at any time and maybe watch Jones versus Ngannou sooner than we can imagine. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe as it helps our channel grow.